It is, what's today, Wednesday? It is Wednesday. How you guys doing out there? Hope everybody's doing well today, having a great day. Still not as sunny as I'd like it to be here in beautiful Texas, but it's getting there. Let me just check this, okay? Hey guys, what's going on? Got the window open. We're here at the warehouse, at the Pureline warehouse. We're doing a few things after hours, getting some work done, trying to figure out ways to help people get in shape, lose weight, burn fat, build muscle, all that stuff. And if you've been following us for the last week or so, we've been coming on Facebook and Instagram live, and we've been doing a little bit of informative videos. We've been sending out some good information for men and women, people who need to burn fat, get started here in 2019. So I hope you guys have been really paying attention and getting some good info from it. I know we've gotten a lot of emails and stuff, and a lot of people seem to be getting some good advice, especially from our 3-day workout plan. So check that out. If you don't, all of this stuff is posted on YouTube, by the way. If you guys want to go to our YouTube channel, it's at Pureline Nutrition on YouTube. Whoops. And you can actually see pretty much everything that we do here. Just flip that up so we don't get interrupted. You can see everything that we're doing. You can look back in our archives on YouTube, check it out. There's a lot of good information that we'll be putting out. So hopefully that helps you out, right, guys? So today I wanted to talk about something. I had an email from somebody, and they were asking me, I want to lose fat. I've got something to get ready for in about 7 days. And, come on, 7 days is not a lot of time to actually lose a substantial amount of weight. But then I started thinking, Aaron, if I only had 7 days and I had a wedding to go to and I had to fit in my size, 32 waist pants, which I haven't fit in for a long time, what would I do? What would be the strategy that I would employ for those 7 days to lose as much weight as possible, to burn as much fat as possible, to even, lose as much water weight as possible so that I could look good and, fit into those clothes in 7 days and hopefully, hit my target? Again, 7 days isn't a lot of time. And it's still kind of, though, it was an interesting question. I thought, if I had to boil things down to 7 days and that's all I had, what would I do? So I came up with and by the way, if you want to get more information about things like this, go to our website, thepureline.com/launch, and fill in your information. I'll keep up to date with all the emails and stuff that we've got going out, because we do have some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So again, that's thepureline.com/launch. So again, going back to that 7-day period, I was like, what can we do in 7 days to really create a substantial amount of fat loss and burn a little bit of fat? Again, I know it's not a long time, but there are people out there, several women and men, I'm sure, that are just like, dude, I got 7 days. What should I do? And so I boiled it down to 3 things that I think are kind of my secret hacks that I would use for people that I'm really find special, or people that are private clients of mine that I say, hey, look, guys, we want to get you ready for this special event in 7 days. And I know it's not a lot of time, but this is what will work. If I had to go back into my 20 years of history and figure out exactly how to do this, these 3 things I know will work, okay? So I boiled it down to these 3 things. They're kind of like the holy grail of fat loss suggestions. They're the works every time fat loss concepts, if you will. And again, I would really reserve these for special people. But the first thing I would do, oh crud, I just moved the camera a little bit. I hope that didn't do anything. Are we okay, Paul? Okay, on the Facebook camera?
Oh, we're good.
Okay. So the first thing I would do is, number 1, I would wake up every morning at around 6 a.m., or earlier if you can, and I would do 45 minutes of MIT cardio on a completely empty stomach. What's MIT cardio? MIT is moderate intensity interval training. It's not high intensity interval training. It's not LISS. It's not low intensity interval training, or low intensity steady state, I should say. But it's right in the middle. It's getting your heart rate up to about 135, 140 beats per minute, and then staying there for about 2 minutes and bumping it up to about 150, 155 beats, and then coming back down. So it's a little moderate intensity variation, and the key is to do it for 45 minutes. And let me add, the trick is to supplement that with GBB. I would use GBB about 10 to 20 milligrams about 30 minutes before I started that cardio. Now, a lot of you may be asking, what's GBB? GBB is gamma butyric butanoic ethyl ester, and it's a new form of L-carnitine that actually drives fat from adipose tissue into the muscle to be used for energy. Very new, very cool, and very effective. It works like crazy. So again, what I would do is I would do that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, get up, hop on the treadmill, hop on the stationary bike. Hey, if you don't want to leave the house, just open the door and go for a walk. Do something for 45 minutes, get your heart rate elevated. And the theory behind that is obviously you haven't worked out, you haven't done anything for 6 or 7 hours, you've been asleep. Glycogen or energy that was stored in the muscle is no longer there. So the body's primary fuel source at that point in time in the morning is going to be fat. Now, there's a lot of studies that show it could and could not be as effective as people say, but I can tell you from personal experience and experience of working with hundreds of people that it's very effective. When people start doing cardio first thing in the morning on an empty stomach and they take about 20 milligrams of GBB and they get in there and they do it, man, they start dropping pounds quick. And in 7 days, you'll notice a difference. Granted, everything on the diet side and the nutrition side is correct, and you're doing everything else you can to burn fat, etc. But that's tip number one, is doing that moderate intensity cardio for 45 minutes every single day for that 7-day period, and making sure and doing it 30 minutes after you've taken something with GBB in it. By the way, if you go to the pureline.com /launch, LAUNCH, you can find out about XP2G Black, which we've actually got coming out on Monday, and it is a cool fat loss product that does have GBB, and it pretty much just solves the problem for you. Just take one of those 30 minutes before you do your cardio, set it by the bedstand, get up, hammer it out, and you're done, and you'll start dropping some pounds quick. So that's number one, doing that cardio. Number two is I would substitute probably 2 to 3 meals a day with a meal replacement shake. Something that has a good amount of protein. If I'm a man, 40 to 45 grams of protein. If I'm a female, 20 to 25 grams. A good amount of carbohydrates. If I'm a male, 20 to 25 grams of carbs. If I'm a female, about 10 to 12 grams. And a good amount of essential fat, just so that it can kind of buffer my insulin levels, so I'm not super hungry in another 3 hours. It's just kind of keeping me steadily fed. And meal replacements are very good for that. And I see really, really good results with people when they start using a meal replacement like 2 or 3 times a day instead of eating. And although calorically they may be equal to food, people may be saying, well, you know what, I'll just eat a meal. It's the same thing. And that's exactly right. It is the same thing. The only issue is what I find is that when people have the opportunity to eat a meal, what they'll do is they'll overeat. They'll have a little bit more than they should. Instead of having 20 or 25 grams of carbs, they'll have 40 or 45. Instead of having 50 grams of carbs, they'll have 75 or 80. So with a meal replacement, it's real easy to make sure that you stay in control of those calories for that amount of time, and you don't tend to go up or tend to go down. You have just the right amount. So the other thing is, I think your body uses it much more efficiently. It doesn't have to break down food as quickly. So the body tends to rapidly utilize the protein and the carbs, stores them where they need to be stored, and doesn't cause fat storage. So that's really important. And I mean, every time, it's a no-fail, works every time thing. When I see people start to use meal replacements 2 or 3 times a day, in conjunction with maybe 2 good clean meals or 3 good clean meals, they drop fat. It's quick and effective. Again, we're looking at a 7-day period, so we're doing everything we can to create effective fat loss very quickly and getting a person to that 7-day goal. Again, it's not a realistic time frame, but I did have the question, what can I do in 7 days? And I'm giving you those 3 things that I think are the absolute most effective things. So keep that in mind. Now, the third thing that I always kind of come back to, and it surprises me how these things slip back into your program without you even thinking about, is eliminating dairy products, refined sugars, juices, anything with high sugar levels like sodas and stuff. I mean, believe it or not, people still drink Coke. They still drink Pepsi. I mean, it should be outlawed. When you have something this big that has, 80 grams of sugar. I saw a presentation once, and the guy filled a bottle, with like half a thing of white sugar, and basically said, this is what you're drinking when you drink a Coke. And it just blew my mind. Why would you put that much sugar into your body at one time? It's just completely crazy. So that's the third thing I would do, though, is I would completely eliminate sugar, dairy, fruit juices, and I probably would, even though they have vitamins and minerals and fiber, I probably would eliminate fruit as well for that 7-day period to really make sure and get in the most effective fat burning mode that I could be for those 7 days. I mean, that is totally, a go-to formula that works every single time. So let's go back and review that. Number one, I would do 45 minutes of MIT cardio, that's moderate intensity interval training, every morning on an empty stomach, followed by taking 10 to 20 milligrams of GBB, right? If you don't know what GBB is, get on our list, thepureline.com/launch, and over the next few days, I'll let you know exactly what that is. The second thing is utilize a meal replacement, something that's got a good amount of protein, a low to moderate amount of carbs, and a good amount of essential fats. And using those three things together every few hours will keep your metabolism ramped up and help you burn fat in a good, efficient way. And I guarantee you in 7 days, you'll drop some pounds. You'll definitely drop inches. So if the goal is to get into a dress or get into some pants that you haven't gotten into in a while, if you're a guy and you're like, dude, I got to get ready for this wedding, I look like crap, this will work. It's a guaranteed formula that works every time. And the other thing is just eliminating all those things from your diet, like breads, dairy, fruits, fruit juices, sugars, refined sugars, cake, candy, anything else that you kind of binge on late at night. Find something else to kind of hold you over. You know, a good idea also, something that kind of works really well, is I tend to be a late snacker. 10 o'clock, 11, ice cream starts to call. And even though there's a halo top and all that stuff, it just doesn't really do it for me like the real thing. One thing that I've found that's really helpful, protein bagels. There's a company called P28.com. I believe it's P28bagel.com. And I order about 10 cases of these bagels at a time. You can toast up like half a bagel at night. And even though it's carbohydrates, it's kind of one of those last, resort things where you're like super starving and you need to eat something because you're just going to go crazy and, eat all the Chips Ahoy in the pantry. You can take like half a bagel, add a little bit of natural almond butter or peanut butter to it, slam that, and you're literally getting, I think, it's close to like 18 to 20 grams of protein, like 8 to 10 grams of carbs. So it's negligible. It's not going to affect you that badly. But that's kind of a little emergency scapegoat that I use sometimes when I'm really trying to buckle down and diet as good as I can. So again, those are the three things you need to look at. And I think those things will help you if you employ them into your program and you say, hey, look, I'm going to do this for 7 days because, I've got that special event or occasion that's coming up. And maybe they'll kind of get you where you need to be. I'm pretty sure they will. And granted, everything else has to be right. Your diet, nutrition, supplements, all that stuff. You've got to be exercising daily. In addition to the cardio, do some weight training. I mean, that is actually more beneficial for fat loss because it increases overall metabolic activity. So make sure you're adding that in 3 or 4 times a week as well. Full body circuits, particular muscle groups, whatever it is. It's all good. There's a million different ways to do it. Just make sure that you're doing it. That's the key. And to get some information and find out exactly how, where you stand right now, go to thepureline.com or visit one of our stores if you're in Texas. We've got stores in McAllen, Texas, Brownsville, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus Christi. Go by, check out one of the guys. They can help you out, get you on an analysis, figure out what's going on in your body, give you some good input, and we can go from there. Okay, guys, so that was today's tips. Those 3 tips that would create noticeable fat loss in 7 days. Did we have any questions come in while we were doing that, Paul?
Nothing here on Facebook.
I did see somebody here from Goals in San Antonio said hi. Hey, hi to you two guys. We appreciate y'all. That was on Instagram. I know Danny went out there today and talked to you guys. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, go to thepureline.com and you can, go to our YouTube page at Pureline Nutrition, and you can get all of our videos are there. A lot of different information. Freddie Joe 31 said, come to Lubbock. And actually, Freddie Joe, Lubbock holds a special place in my heart. I spent 5 years of my life there at Texas Tech University. Guns up, Red Raiders. Awesomest 5 years of my life, and graduated from Tech. So to all you Red Raiders out there, appreciate you guys. The Fit Project Manager says, thanks for the tips. Appreciate you tuning in, guys. And make sure you tell your friends and share the videos with your friends if you feel like you're getting any good information from them. I would appreciate it. We try to come on every day, actually, about 5:30 p.m. And we just try to pick topics that we feel would help you and try to give you some information and knowledge that we've acquired over the last 20 plus years. That's when I was at Lubbock. That was 94 to 2001. So it's been a long time that we've been doing this. If you haven't tried any of our products, we'd love for you to give us a try. Go to thepureline.com, check us out. Got a whole litany of products, from fat loss products to protein, isolates. We've got some of the only pro-hormone compounds on the market that are legal, DHEA derivatives. Extremely effective for building muscle if you're at that place in the game. We also have our Diva line, which is all the female line that includes the fat burners and the pre-workouts and all the weight loss stuff. So we appreciate you guys. We hope you guys have an incredible day. We will check back in with you tomorrow. Have a good workout too. If you haven't hit the gym yet, get in there and tear it up for us. And we will see you soon. You guys take care, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.